Some stories hide in the shadows. Some voices are silenced before their time. Yolanda Lala Brown, a rising R&B star. Jatan Kool-Aid Claiborne, a creator building his dreams. Two lives, two dreams, taken too soon. The rise, the threats, the unanswered questions. This is their story. On May 20th, 1986, Yolanda Rose Lala Brown was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Maria and William Brown. She was the youngest of 5 siblings. From a very young age, her family recalls her singing constantly and performing around the house. Music wasn't just something that she liked, it was her identity. Lala had a mixed heritage. Her mother was of Mexican descent, her father was African American. This culturally rich background influenced her voice and artistic presence. She grew up in a close-knit family where music, gatherings, and community were central. By the age of 11, Lala was already performing professionally at local events, weddings, community talent shows, family gatherings. People didn't just hear her, they remembered her voice. She was eventually accepted into the Milwaukee High School of the Arts, where teachers described her as naturally gifted, charismatic, and determined. Her voice was described as soulful and expressive far beyond her years. In 2002, at the age of 16, Lala became a mother to her daughter, Amira Brown. Though many would see teen motherhood as a setback, for Lala it became part of her drive, a reason to push harder. She wanted a better life not only for herself, but for her daughter. Friends and family later emphasized that having a daughter did not slow her ambitions, it sharpened them. In late 2005, Lala made a bold decision. She moved to Atlanta, Georgia, one of the biggest R&B and hip-hop music hubs in the country. She began networking, taking meetings, attending studio sessions, and trying to get connected. It was in Atlanta where she met Lyfe Jennings while working at a club. She would sing for Lyfe Jennings, and eventually, Lyfe Jennings offered her a feature on his song SEX, a track that would become a commercial hit. In 2006, SEX peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs charts. It charted 37 on Billboard Hot 100. Lala is featured on the vocals and appears in the music video. This was her first major national exposure, and it put her voice in front of millions. After the success of SEX, Lala briefly toured with Lyfe Jennings. However, as the tour continued, reports indicate escalating creative disagreements and personality conflicts between Lala and Jennings' camp. Some reports say Lala wanted more creative control and better financial terms. Others say there were artistic disagreements about performance direction. Regardless of specific reasons, the tour ended prematurely for her, and she was sent home early. Lyfe Jennings later acknowledged the split in interviews, including a discussion referenced on Vladtv, saying Lala was let go from the tour, though he did not claim she lacked talent, only that there were issues on the road. This was her first major professional setback on a national level.
So, she went on tour with you at one point?
Yes, she went on tour with me.
Okay, and then she left the tour. Was it under good circumstances or not so good?
Come on, man, you know the answer to that. Why are you trying?
Okay, so a situation happened where she got kicked off the tour. All right?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I'm going to just keep it all the way, because I don't know how to be. I don't want to be lying and then have to backtrack on lying. Lala was a lot to deal with. And I think most talented people are. They got so much energy, man. Very well liked. Like it was, I can't even tell, because me personally, I didn't think Lala was that fine to me. But I'm talking about every single dude. It was something about her. They used to lose their mind about this girl, man. Like, she was just special, and that kind of got to her head. Like, I remember one time we was on tour and we was in Lala hometown. So Lala was already there, and I come to the dressing room, and there's a security dude at my dressing room. He don't even want to let me in the dressing room. He opened the door. He said, wait a minute. He opened the door and asked Lala, is it all right for him to come in? Lala was like, yeah, he can come. I say, no, this shit got to stop, bro. But yeah, so we had some words on tour, and we had words before. And my intentions was to just send Lala home for a little while, and hopefully that she would, because I don't want no beef on the tour between her and my band and none of that. I sent her home, and then we had an argument when she got home. So I was just like, yeah, it's just best for you to stay there, you know?
Lala returned to Milwaukee to focus on her solo career. She began working at Loud Enough Productions with Jaton Kool-Aid Claiborne, who would later become her boyfriend, and he was also her producer. Together, they recorded songs like I'm Feeling It, Rescue Me, and Give 'Em What They Want. Their studio became a hub for creativity, but it would soon be shaken by crime. In mid-2007, Loud Enough Productions was burglarized, with roughly $10,000 of equipment stolen, keyboards, speakers, and computers. Around this time, Lala reportedly received death threats. Lala confided in her hairdresser, sharing her thoughts, though she did not reveal who might be targeting her. The threats, though not fully verified by police publicly, were later highlighted on America's Most Wanted in 2010. On Friday, October 19th, Lala Brown and Kool-Aid were unalived inside their studio. Friends and family had not heard from them for days. When relatives tried to check on them, the property owner initially refused access, delaying discovery. When the door was finally opened, the two young people were found deceased, their bodies showing signs of decomposition, evidence that they had been there for days. Their bodies were discovered officially on October 22nd, 2007 by Kool-Aid's brother. Lala's funeral was held October 25th at Mason Temple Church of God in Christ in Milwaukee, with hundreds in attendance, including Life Jennings. Friends, family, and community members paid tribute to their lives, mourning the loss of two young promising talents. The murders drew national attention. In 2010, the case was featured on America's Most Wanted, highlighting the death threats Lala had received. In 2012, TV One's Celebrity Crime Files profiled the case, showing her talent, the studio, burglary, and the warnings she may have received before her death. Most recently, Lala Brown's story was featured on Killing Hip Hop Season 1, Episode 2. The episode takes a deeper look into her life, from her rise in the music industry to the tension surrounding her return to Milwaukee. It revisits the studio burglary, the reported threats, and the events leading up to October 19, 2007. Through interviews, reenactments, and investigative storytelling, the show raises critical questions. Was this a targeted act, and did someone close to them know more than they revealed? The episode also highlights the emotional toll on both families and the frustration of a case that, despite years of exposure, still has no resolution. With each new feature, the story reaches new audiences, but the outcome remains the same. No arrests, no closure, just questions. In 2016, investigators revealed that a potential suspect had been identified and was in custody out of state on unrelated charges. For the families, it felt like a break in the case, a moment where justice might finally be within reach. But no charges were ever publicly filed. In 2017, Milwaukee police turned the case over to the district attorney's office, signaling that the investigation had reached a critical point. Still, no prosecution followed. Over the years, theories have circulated, some pointing to personal conflicts, others to earlier studio burglary, and some to the reported threats Lala received before her death. But law enforcement has never confirmed the motive, and without answers, the case remains frozen in time. The building that once housed Loud Enough Productions no longer echoes with music. Today, it has been repurposed into a business, its past hidden behind new walls and everyday activity. But for those who remember, that space will always carry the weight of what happened inside. Lala Brown left behind more than music. She left behind her daughter, her family, and a future that was never fully realized. Kool-Aid left behind his own dreams, his work, and a legacy as a creator in Milwaukee's music scene. Every year, loved ones gather, remembering them, honoring them, and asking them the same question: why? Lala Brown didn't die chasing trouble. She died chasing a dream of music, of success, of building a better life for her daughter. And Kool-Aid stood beside her, building that dream with her, track by track, session by session. But on October 19, 2007, that dream was taken. And nearly 2 decades later, the silence remains. Someone knows what happened in that studio. Someone knows why 2 young lives were taken. And until the truth comes out, the story is not over. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Because stories like this, they don't get told enough. I'm here to bring light to the ones people forgot, the ones that still need answers, and the ones that deserve justice. So if that's something that you stand for too, go ahead and please hit that subscribe button. Stay tapped in and be a part of this with me.
1:30. I got a little bit to come on with it. What's your name, little mama? You the future, baby.
It's Miss Lala Brown.
Miss Lillala. Peace.
The rumors start flying, now we think we the shit. You better do your homework.
The dream or a fantasy. Ooh, ooh, jacuzzi bubble baths, numerous amounts of trips, meant our relationship. Yes, yes, boy, I can see a great future for you and I. Just give me a try. I've been looking around, but I can't seem to find someone like me. Cause either I was playing, or either they were faking, or I felt they weren't the one for me. I've been looking a while, but I can't seem to find someone like Lala. Because either they were playing, or either I was faking, or I felt they. Now is the time for you to decide if I'm exactly what you like. Cause I'm buzzing game hard, for sure you're the type. I'd have been around the world and dated all type of guys, even weighed my options and really took my time. But when I came across you, my motive was to game you, run circles around you to get paid. But once we got close, now I changed my mind. I'm not gonna play with you like that, cause I want you to be mine. Cause I know I can love you right. No matter what you had going on for me, you can hang it up now, cause eventually she will see.
Hey.